Good afternoon. Welcome back to Crochet with Lulu and Gracie. Gracie will make her appearance, I'm sure, in a few minutes. I wanted to get on here today and tell everyone I hope you have a wonderful, blessed, beautiful weekend. To all the mothers, happy Mother's Day. It's gorgeous here. The weather has just been phenomenal. It started off this morning a little overcast, but then it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Thought 2 or 3 times it was going to rain. Let me tell you a funny story. So some of you may have seen my short video about the self-propelled lawnmower. Well, it's quite humorous because I got out there and I'd done what I could on both sides. I gave out on the other side. I liked probably a quarter of the yard being done. We don't have a large front yard, but to me it was a lot of work. And so some of the areas you have to go back and forth because, you know, it's self-propelled. It's not like a fast lawnmower. So I got out there and I got what I could done, and I thought, well, I'm just going to sit down and I'll wait till this evening when the sun goes down and I'll get out there and finish those last few strips. Well, I'm sitting there on the porch and our yard guy showed up. So I laughed. I said, I was so thankful, but it was so funny because, you know, they showed up right after I got most of it done, but I was so thankful they showed up to shape it up and make it look better. I wanted to do a kit review. Before I started doing amiguramis or amigurumis, however say that, Gracie says hello. I bought a kit thinking that I would be able to do it. Well, for some reason, I blocked my brain from being able to do the stitching. Something about working continuously and not stopping a row and, you know, doing the chain one and then going through the next row. For some reason, I just blocked my brain and I could not do it. So I would get it out and I would get so aggravated, and if I could frog it back, I would frog it back. And finally, probably 2 months ago, maybe 3. It was before I started doing amigurumis. I got it back out and I thought, well, I'll try it again. Now this kit came in a little bag. Don't know the name of it other than the book says DIY handicrafts, DIY handicrafts, crochet kit for beginner. It came with this book, which shows various stitches. This is not the pattern, but this shows various stitches. And I'm just going to show you what came in this kit. And I want to think it was less than $20 through Amazon. I just don't remember. Now it has the pattern book, and it's called the Flower Fairy Gnomes, or that just says Flower Fairy. That's a tongue twister. So you can make each one of these colors of gnomes. So then it tells you how to make the flower hat, the petals, the calyx, the body, the arms, nose, and beard. And then it shows you, you can also go on this book. There is a QR code that you can go on, and it showed you how, which I was not familiar with doing those. So even going on that video threw me for a loop. But now I'm able to do it by just reading the pattern. I was so thankful. So far, I've done well. Now, saying that, I wondered about the hat, and I almost frogged it back. But I thought, no, because I can use a hat and cover up the mistakes up here that I made on the body. So this was originally the top. But there was something I done, I guess I didn't stuff it enough for one thing. I'm still a little bit uncomfortable doing some things, and I had already brain blocked myself from this. So, I mean, that tells you a whole lot right there. So this is one of the petals. I'm not especially happy with it, but you have to make 5 petals around, and then you do the calyx, the stem, and then the green part of the stem, and then you do it didn't tell you to do the safety eyes before you finish the body. So I kept thinking, well, maybe it's just there if you want to put safety eyes. But I was supposed to put safety eyes on, but I didn't. So I'll probably take some dark thread and make the eyes. But you do the nose and the beard and all that. So there is that. It came with a hook, and I have the hooks in another bag. And this is the yellow that I have left to finish the petals. And then the calyx is done in the green. So let me show you. It came with this little bag of stuffing, which is quite a bit of stuffing. I wish I'd used more in that one. But I mean, I'll know next time that you really have to lay it on thick with the stuffing. And there is another little bag, and it has the needles, the yarn needle, and the stitch markers, and the safety eyes. And this had a glue stick to glue something on there with, and I forget now what it said to do. But I probably won't use it. I don't have a glue gun. So there's that. But it came with all these colors of thread. The peach, the lavender, the green. That's a real lot. This, I guess, is more like a coral, and maybe this is the peach, and then this is the white. But it's really a cute kit, and like I said, and I don't know what I've done with the little stitch markers and the, here it is. It's a little see-through bag, and I couldn't see through it. It even had the little clippers, and they're in another bag. I have a bag sitting here, another bag, and so you can make key rings out of them. But I probably won't do the key ring with those. My son loves gnomes, and so I thought I originally bought the kit to do that. So yeah, there is 6 safety eyes. But the weird thing about these safety eyes, I guess the glue gun might be for that, because there's no backings in this. Now I have a kit of eyes, safety eyes with the backs. So I'll probably just put these in that kit, and then goes that. But yeah, I really like the kit. Now, I will say that I really, really like the kit, and I do not regret buying it. And now that I'm becoming comfortable doing the amigurumis, I'm comfortable doing that. I was scared at first, and the petals threw me off. The petal just absolutely threw me for a loop, because I thought, how are you going to get the pet? Because you crochet, you don't sew them, you crochet the petals on. And so I thought, how do you do that? Because I've never been that familiar with crocheting on top of something. Does that make sense? I've been used to crocheting in, like crocheting it in as I go, but not like after the fact. So there again, it was a mind block. But I did watch the video to make sure that I done that properly. But here's And they're really cute. They're just really cute. I was so happy that I got this. You know, especially now. Like I said, I'm learning as I go, and that's the fun part of it. You know, like BLO, I had no clue, and that was when I learned that it was a bobble. I mean, BO was a bobble. BLO is back loop only, so I knew how to do that. So far, like I said, I'm comfortable doing all of these except here's how it says, petals make 6. Oh, I'm supposed to make 6. I don't think I have room for, I'll just do 5. With main colors, pink, yellow, lavender yarn. Pink, so that one was pink. That shows you how my eyes are. Work into front loops of round 12, FLO, front loop only, 1 chain, 7 single crochets. Now you would have already made, because number 1 was the flower hat, number 2 was the petals. I should have done number 2 on the hat before I went on to make the body. But I thought, well, surely I've got the hat and the body, I can do that. So, but it doesn't tell how to do it. So I did click on the QR code to go in to see how to do that. And I was thankful I did, because I don't know what it would look like. And this one, I'm still not pleased with it, but I mean, it's gonna stay on there. And then after I do the other 4, I might go back and cut that one off if I've got enough yellow and redo it. But I'm pleased with my little kit. I wanted to do a kit review, and I've done that. I will look it up on Amazon and see if I can find out what I paid for it. And then I'll put it in the description box. But I'm so pleased with this kit. I mean, it all came in this little bag. Every bit of that came in this little bag. And I know it was under $20 because I seen the woobles and I thought, I can't afford that. You know, even when I was working, I couldn't justify paying, which I know you have the pattern, but you can go on Etsy and Pinterest and all of those and buy patterns all day less than that. And most of us have the colors of yarns in our possession. I do. And I'm thankful, and I'll make do with what colors I do have. And forgive my hair. Please forgive my hair and my appearance. I've been out in the yard working. I was trying to pull some grass up out of the sidewalk. I hate that. I've got to mix up my little concoction again to try to kill the grass out of the sidewalk. But yes, if you want a good kit, I mean, this had everything, and I don't know why it didn't have the backs for the safety eyes, but most of us that do these projects have the safety eyes, or a lot of people crochet the eyes and the mouths in anyway. So I'm so pleased with my kit, and I was so thankful. I was sitting there a couple of weeks ago and I thought, now I think where I put the kit, and it was right where I'd left it, and also a new bag of polyfill. So I was so thankful I had found both kits. I just couldn't find the hook size, so I wasn't sure, and that's probably why I'm running low on the yellow. That and messing up a time or 2 or more. We won't say how many times. I don't even remember how many times I tried, but I'm proud of myself that I'm learning how to read patterns on this anyways. Now, something else, it may throw me for a loop, and I may be YouTube Googling. I think it's a brain block with me. I know it is. But I'm going to get off from here. I've been on here almost 15 minutes rambling about this kit, but I will link it in the description box if I can find it. If not, I know it was under $20. And it was just, well, this is all it said on the one side of the bag. Crochet for Beginner. Crochet for Beginner. That's all it said. And it just had the little strip up here that you pull off. And then, like I said, everything was included in that bag except the backing for the eyes. And that's no big deal. That, again, that may be why the glue stick was there. I don't remember. There's a part in here it talks about where you use the glue stick, but I don't have a glue gun. I used to many years ago. I had 2 or 3, but I don't. I need to buy one just so that I'll have it here for situations that I need a glue gun for. I don't use a glue gun that much. So anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed weekend. I hope you're out doing fun things. I'm getting to go to my son's girlfriend's family's gathering tomorrow evening. That will be fun. And then yesterday I did get out. I was so honored. They didn't have book club today because a lot of them at the senior activity center took a field trip. Well, my friend and I had thought about going. I'd even signed up for it. But it was going to be several hours, and I didn't have anybody to come in and take care of the babies, the fur babies. So there was no way I was going to do that. So yesterday, well, they decided they wouldn't have the book club today because of the field trip. So yesterday, I get a text from my bestie yesterday morning, and I was invited to lunch with a couple more of the book club girls and my best friend and I, and we ate at a local tea room, and we had the best, most fun time. Of course, I'm always acting silly, but we had such a lovely time. So I did that yesterday. That was a big treat. Oh, it was so much fun. We just enjoyed it so much. And I hadn't been out of the house in probably 2 weeks or more. So then I'm going out tomorrow, and so it'll be fun. We'll have a good time. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. I have loved answering the comments. I love getting comments on my videos. So please leave me comments. If nothing else, tell me I need to brush my hair. It's curling up, and it does what it does. But thank you so much. Have a good weekend, and I will see you next time. Hopefully by the next time I do a video, hopefully by the end of the weekend, pray I get this done and I can show you the finished project. Thank you. Bye-bye. Happy Mother's Day.